Alright everyone, how's it going? Starting off this stream here, ended up getting my first 3D printer. It's been in the box here for about a week, just haven't been able to get time to unbox it and set it up, because I wanted to show it for all you guys, and get started. So, I ended up getting a Anycubic Photon M3 printer. You can kind of see here, except for the Amazon tape. I've also got links below in the description for all of the stuff that I ended up getting. I only have these two here just because there's a lot of stuff. Takes a little bit more stuff than I thought at first, but I do have it there, so I can get started with it as soon as I get it unboxed and set up. Not sure what kind of setup this does take, but we're going to get it open and get started. So, like I mentioned, all the links below. I do have some resin here that I ended up getting for it called iForm 181. This is a gray color resin that was recommended. It was cheaper but higher quality than most of the others. So I do kind of have it there, so I'll have it kind of off the side, and we'll just get started opening it and see what it takes to set it up. So I'm definitely want to print lots of different things. I know it takes a little bit to find the files or even make some of the stuff, but that's kind of the fun of it. There's definitely some test prints that I want to get started with this once I get it opened up and going, but we'll kind of see. Alright, so it looks like got some plastic and some foam kind of in the way. Alright, already I can see the top dome of the printer here. This table's not the best. So, kind of yellow protective shield there. Let's see if this will just come right out. Seems a little heavy down in there. Alright. That was in there pretty good. Took quite a bit of force to kind of pull out of there. This thing was a bit heavier, but also smaller than I expected. Alright, so there's a nice big foam layer off of there. I like to keep all my packaging just in case something does go wrong. In the first little bit, I can always return it easily. Looks like this may be less setup than I thought. I know with the other type of printers, the SLA printers, they do take a bit more setup. There we go, now I can hear myself. This is the cool little dome here. It does mention on the top, for freedom to make, Japanese and in English, which is kind of cool. Okay, so it is going to take a little bit more setup. Yeah, definitely think it looks cool as well. This looks like the 3D build plate here. So this goes on top. There's a screen down below. The screen lets the UV light kind of come through, project the image, and then it prints it through the screen using the resin, and then it comes slowly out as it does and kind of dips in there, and then you kind of break it off from the top. This was kind of scrunched up there. Hopefully that doesn't affect the quality at all. Set it off to the side here. Alright. Get this kind of loaded into the box in reverse order. I kind of like how they did put the foam in here in layers. Makes it easy to remove without risking anything. So, this is the base here. This has the mechanical arm that does kind of come up with the plate there. And here's that screen. So these screens are technically consumables. So as you do print, these do need to be replaced. Looks like it may have some scratches on there. I don't know if that will affect it at all. Hopefully not. But these screens do wear out over time, and you do kind of need to replace them. But that is one of the reasons these are cheaper than the other printers, because the motors and the heads used to melt the plastic to print things wear out a lot more than these screens do. So these, over the long term, are a bit cheaper than the other ones, but these do have that unexpected cost that people don't realize. But the cost of the resin is a little bit more expensive for these type of printers versus the plastics, from what I've heard of the other types of printers. Alright, so we still have a box here, and this looks like this may be the hardware, but I'm not sure. So when I'm done printing it, the first thing, or putting it together, the first thing I'm going to print is actually going to be the Anycubic test print, which kind of looks like a hollowed out kind of cube with supports kind of in the middle. Little 3D cube. That's Anycubic's design for test print. I'm also going to test print this rook that I found. It looks like a small little dice tower. Has steps kind of going around the inside to see the smaller little detail and quality. After that, I'm actually going to print a little minifigure of a D&D character for one of our friends named Chef. It was his birthday yesterday. Making sure that's right. Yesterday or the day before was his birthday. So it's one of his D&D characters that we're going to go ahead and print for him, and we'll make sure it's good. I kind of wish I could get this set up in this room, like right here, but these are highly affected by UV light, so I'm actually not going to leave it in here. I do have another room set up, which will kind of minimize the UV light, and make sure that the prints are not affected in any way. Definitely will let him know. From there, I'm gonna kind of see what I want to print. I want to get like a dock for my Switch kind of printed out for like Legend of Zelda themed. I also want to get a case for my games. Thinking the Legends of Arceus Pokeball. I've seen some of those 3D printed with the little case in them. Alright, so looks like in this box it actually does have some paper funnels here, which are kind of round with a mesh screen. Looks like about 5 of them. It's generous of them. Kind of get started. Looks like a little bag possibly of some gloves. If you look down below in the affiliate links in the description, I do have, was mentioned from a video that I saw, should probably link that as well, of different things to recommend getting. So I already got some nitro gloves and some metal funnels, stuff that are a little higher quality. Yeah, so I think these ones will even be higher quality than the PLA ones, but if you do happen to know of any, let me know, because I definitely want to get those for sure. So it looks like this may already include a bunch of the stuff that I already got. So this is the power brick and the power cord itself, used to power the printer. There is a little baggie here. One of them is empty, one of them has a little, thumb screw. Looks like the other thumb screw is just loose in the box. So I think that one fell out of the little package there. This one does have a metal scraper, which I did end up buying a cheap one, but it ends up higher quality. I think they were only releasing a pack of different content. Oh, and a pack and a different content. Okay. Well, if you happen to find any information on that, feel free to let me know. So the metal scraper, there is a little plastic scraper here as well, I guess to help kind of off the build plate if you don't want to use the metal one. This one does mention screen protector accessories. And it looks like the instructions are in Japanese for a smartphone, but I think that's for the major screen, I'm not sure. This does come with a USB flash drive, so this is the way to transfer files to the printer. It does have a USB port here on the side, which you'll load files into a splicer on the computer. You'll kind of have it cut the file into layers based on settings for your printer and resin. Then you'll transfer it over. There are some that are over the network. This one is a USB, which I do prefer. It does have a little touchscreen on the front as well, which does help with navigating those files. Looks like this is a bag of 4 different Allen keys or Allen wrenches, kind of used to tighten different things. It does come with one blue face mask, The resin can be noxious to some people, so that's why there is some caution around this. There is a screen protector, it looks like here. I'm kind of curious if this already has one on it. It has a little sticker on here that says front. Sticker helps remove the mask. Please peel off mask with the sticker. Okay. There's the bottom of it. Metal there. Looks like it's already got some fingerprints. Can't be sure those are all entirely mine. Alright, so it's almost all from the box. There is a few instructions and information. So a little assembly instruction book. There is a little pamphlet which is in Japanese, but this side says this paper can be used for leveling. Refer to the manual for more details. And then instructions that are in Japanese and English for the screen protector installation. So it mentions that there is screen protector and a polarized film that you need to leave on. Looks like you have to tear off the stained screen protector used with the curing school toolkit. So the plastic scraper is used to kind of get the bubbles and squeegees out for the screen protector. So this one doesn't quite specify what order this all needs to be done in, or whether it does need to be done for first time. Okay, there's an assembly instruction book here, and it actually looks like it was printed with the Japanese in mind in a backwards fashion from most American books. Alright, assembly instructions, assembly and leveling kit. Step 1, unpack and take out all accessories. Check. Step 2, then plug in the power cord, turn on the machine. That's all part of step 1. Step 2, raise the Z-axis to a certain height to ensure that the curing screen will not be scratched when the printing platform is installed. So by doing so, you go to Tools, Move Z, choose 10mm, and then raise. Step 3, tear off the protective film before leveling and printing. Step 4, peel back packing film on the print platform and loosen the 4 screws. 4 screws appear to be on the bottom of the resin plate there. Okay. This one has some different instructions in Japanese. Okay, I see this book is actually printed both ways. So it is an accordion style fold, which I didn't notice at first. Okay, so step 4 is once you peel back and you loosen the screws. Step 5, you install it on the securing printing platform, which is this nozzle here. Slide it on and screw the screws back in. Looks like you'll place the leveling paper on the curing screen and click on the home. Wait for it to descend and stop automatically. Use your fingers to gently press the platform gently and tighten the 4 screws. So there is more information, such as going to tools to save the 0 access spot. Once the leveling process is done, hit enter, take out the paper, click detection and select an image, and set the test time. Click next on the screen. Curing screen should display a complete image as what you select. Install the resin vat, so that is what this is. This right here is the resin vat, which does go right above the screen there, is what we fill with the resin liquid. And then once the thumb screws are tightened down on the sides of this resin screen at the bottom, it should be liquid tight to not allow any liquid out. Then it kind of mentions 3D model printing. Please check FEP film carefully before every printing. If the FEP film is broken, replace it immediately to avoid further damage to the machine. It does mention that there's a test file in there which has the cube design. See if we can kind of get that a little close there. I don't think it's going to autocorrect well enough. There it goes. So that will be the first test print there. Mentions you'll set the UV power options. Then it mentions that there's resin recycling, which you will take out the resin vat tray here, which it does look like it. I guess it has a film on the bottom here, so you'd pick this whole thing up. It does have a spout, which you will then pour out using the funnel and back into a reservoir for reuse. So you can recycle your resin. Alright, and then this backside is everything in Japanese. So it's real handy. How's it going? Welcome back home. How was your trip to Japan? So this paper is used for leveling. Cool. So I do think I may be able to do some of this now. On second thought, probably best not to, because I'm going to have to move it anyway to the 3D printer area to then do, but that is the majority of what is in there for now. How's it going? Oh wow, that's quite a bit. The notify button does nothing. Do you make sure you have your notifications on for the app as well? Do you have a notification in that? Sent it to you on Discord too, in case you didn't know. So this took less assembly than I thought. It does take some assembly to get the screen on there and leveled. Okay, well I can try and help you next time I visit. Second thought, I can do it now and I can just redo it later. So, what the heck? Let's just go through it. So I did mention that the reason why I'm not setting this up in here is because these are very sensitive to UV light, which will cause issues. So I'm making sure not to fully set it up in here and print in here because these windows do let through a lot of light. But I'll at least set it up and kind of get it level and do what I can for now on it. Get that stuff there. Interesting. Arya is resting right now. She will be back though. We'll be back especially before our Final Fantasy XIV mount farming tonight. We've got Extreme Trial mount farming. Yeah, she happened to get out of Discord right as you had hopped into the voice chat. Alright. Let's get all of this out of the way. Cats will love these zip ties later. For some reason that's the cat's favorite toys, is zip ties. Right. Get this plugged in here. Fell right down below. Where's the plug-in spot? There it is. Alright. Had to peel that off. So, for those that do want characters printed, make a character using Hero Forge. Oh. There we go. Chair is having a little difficulty. So if you make a character using Hero Forge, we can try and see if I can get it 3D printed for you. I know Chef did that with his D&D character, and that will be one of the first things printed for his birthday. But besides that, I don't know what's needed, whether you have to pay or not. At least they do give you the file that you can use to 3D print. So for all those that want to make one, send it over to me, and we'll see what we can do. So it's a bit warm in here, so I kind of have it muted a little bit. It was like $8 or something for the file. Okay, that's pretty cheap then. I don't know if I can 3D print a life-size Alistair with this one. In case, for those that don't know, Alistair is Torazen's gigantic German Shepherd dog, which is horse size almost. Comes up to waist height on a lot of people, just on all fours. So I could print a lot of little pieces, because the highest I can print is about this tall, I think, and of course only about that wide. About the size of my hand is how big each piece can be, but 3D printed, or higher on the Z-axis. So right now I'm going to Tools, Move Z 10 millimeters and up. Right now this platform rose up a little bit. What's going to be puzzled? The Alistair? 3D printed Alistair? See if we can get this zoomed in a little bit. It's a bit warm in here. Where'd it go? Okay, we'll see if that works a little better. Still not quite level, but... Alright, so that raised it up. So we have to pull off this 3D protective film. Okay. Grab this here. These are our different Allen key wrenches. Alright. So there is this protective film as well. This is that build plate that the resin goes into, and then it sticks to using a UV light. So, get this there. It does mention to peel this film up. So, less assembly for this one and more prep. Alright. So it wants us to undo the screws on here. So I am using Allen key here. Does look like the biggest one, the short end, does go in there. Normally I'd want the short side of the longer key to not go in there. Or, yes, sorry, the short side to go in, long side to not, for more leverage. Okay, so this does allow for a little bit of leeway for the bracket to move there, and then tilt as well. That is what we want. So, we'll go to the next step here. Basically just following the instructions at this point. Alright, so we're going to install this on there. It does mention there's a screen protector. I don't know if the screen protector... Okay, so this is if the screen gets stained, and this is a replacement screen protector. So I will move these off to the side. Luckily they provide a replacement there for when the screen does get stained. Alright, so we're going to install that. It doesn't mention when I reattach or redo those 4 screws. Okay, it does right there. Alright, so let's see if we can get this on there. Alright. Okay, cool. Get that secured there. Thanks everyone for stopping by, I appreciate it. It's been taking me a little bit to get used to this just because, get around to it because I haven't had quite the time for it. Alright, and I gotta get a little close just to use my computer. So place the leveling paper on the curing screen. This is the leveling paper. Okay. So I'm going to click on home on the touchscreen here. So it is, when I pressed home, it did kind of go down, push down a little bit, raise up, push down a little bit. And it looks like once it stops descending automatically, my fingers to press the platform down gently and then tighten the 4 screws on the platform here. Oh, you just woke up 2 hours ago? Oh, wow. Well, hopefully your nap and your rest were good, so that's some good timing. I don't know how tight they want these. Normally you do want to tighten screws in a cross pattern, so that they don't get a little crossed there. Okay, making sure everything is tight. Do not know how tight they want some of this, so I'm not going to make it overly tight, but I'm going to make it tight enough. Okay. So I feel that part's good there. Your body still wants to sleep, but then you won't get over your jet lag. Yeah, it's definitely rough to get over jet lag, especially with that there. Went to Square Enix building and yelled, "Yoshi P, where's my gil?" What did they say when you yelled that out? Alright. So now I need to go to Tools and Z equals 0. So I need to click Enter. Enter again so I can take the paper out. Cool. There we go. Interesting. It went up quite a little ways there. Have you been seeing all the stuff from FanFest yet? Yukine and Catrick are out at FanFest right now, actually, for Final Fantasy XIV, and there's quite a bit some interesting stuff announced, just from the little bit I've seen. Alright, so now we're gonna click Detection. Select an image, set the test time, click Next on the screen. Alright. Okay, so it did light up UV. It does kind of look like it has the image there. Oh, I probably shouldn't have stuck my hand in between there. Okay, so we'll try the next one. Okay, it looks like it's doing those correctly. So I'm just trying each option just to see what it looks like. Doesn't look like there's any overlap. It looks like it lines up just right, luckily. Alright, so now we're going to install the resin vat. Does look like the spout is in the back corner. Okay, cool. Alright. It does have a max fill line as well, which is great. Cool. We got our thumb screws in here. Eventually I'll have a better camera setup so I can do things a little bit better and mobile. For now this will have to do. I do also have a green screen coming so I can then kind of have this background out and I can stream a little bit better. I'll likely be streaming more frequently when I'm not doing Final Fantasy XIV. Even possibly when I'm doing Final Fantasy, we'll see. But I definitely got some more Switch games to play and different Final Fantasy stuff I've got to do. So the resin vat is installed. So now, the rest I'm pretty sure I need to do in the other room. So, probably get some of this secured, and then go take it in there and do that a bit later, so I can start the 3D test print. Especially because this resin is very highly sensitive to UV light. In here there are some UV light, and I want to eliminate as much of that as possible, and then set up a curing station as well. So, get this on here. So that slides around a bit looser than I would like. There we go. Just had to get it secured there. Cool, it does have sound options. It does have some UV power options. Some system information as well. Then it does have a print option with files to choose from. Doesn't look like, looks like I may need to put the USB in to get that test print and see if that test print is already on the USB stick, or if I need to get that from the computer, because it does already have that test print file on the splicer. But I am curious if it's already on this USB and what information's on here. Okay, cool. So it does have the test print file there, which is the Anycubic cube. Let me see if I can actually pull that up here and show it to you guys. There we go. A little bit better there with the camera. Okay, so switch here. Oh, my webcam is off just a little bit there. We're doing this on the fly. Okay, then I will do this here. Okay, so this is the splicing software. This will be what's on the build plate. Going to see if I can open that test file. Okay, so there's just the rook, but this doesn't have the other one readily available. So this is going to be that rook that I'm going to test as well. Does have some information there on the top, does have a spiral helix in the middle, spiral on the outside, stairs in the middle, and then kind of a spot there. I may even scale that up for a dice tower in the future as well. But for now, looks like maybe the Spotify stuff went away as well. That will be one of them. I don't have the... Let me pull up the file then. Okay, cool. May copy this image. Insert browser source. Oh, there we go. So this is actually what it will look like when it is printed. And it is kind of a 3D cube on any side with that in the middle and on the outside. So yeah. Ended up kind of changing some stuff around and running that on the fly, but that's what it'll look like. All right. So, what do you guys think? Any questions? Thoughts? Of course, like I mentioned before, I do have in the description below affiliate links for the stuff I did purchase. Some of that did kind of come included, just the cheap versions. I did get the more quality stuff if I plan on printing more often. This does kind of need to be in the other room, and maybe I'll record. Once I figure out time-lapse videos, I may do that. I may also do some of the prints using, or like recording of the process of printing and curing. So if there's any questions, if you guys want to see some things printed, let me know in the comments below, especially if you have the files. We'll kind of see if we can get them printed. Maybe send some out to some people. All right. Well, thanks everyone, and see you guys later.